Ke dumedisha batho ka moka ba lebeletseng poledišano ye. Leina la ka ke Lesego wa ga Mathabata, and I'm a member of the God-fearing generation here at Mana Tabernacle. And a warm welcome back to another youth session. And if you're here, I'd really appreciate it if you were to like, to comment, to share, to subscribe, and then invite your friends to come by so they can invite more friends and our family can grow. On behalf of the Mana Tabernacle family and I'd like to say Happy Heritage Month. I hope you enjoyed your heritage celebration, and I mean, what a time to be alive, to embrace who we are, and to be able to celebrate each other's different cultures. Now, before I proceed, I'd like to thank the overseer and the senior pastor for giving me this opportunity and allowing me the pleasure of presenting today's session. I'd also like to thank Sesinyelete and Katekile for presenting the previous session, which was a recap on everything that we have done as far. For those of you who are joining us for the first time today, and for those of you who are returning, hello, how are you? I hope you are good. And any session that you have missed, you can view every session that we have streamed as far on this very platform and on our YouTube page at Mana Tabernacle Church in your own time and at your own comfort. Please feel free to leave any comments and ask any questions in the comment section down below, and we will make sure to get back to you. Now, today we have with us a professional DJ for a major, and believe me when I say a major radio station. He's a DJ, he's a blogger, he's a brand influencer, and he also does a lot of marketing through social media. And for those of y'all who are interested and keen in learning more about this, I promise you this is the place to be. It would not be an introduction if I don't give you a brief understanding of his followings, so let me shock you. On Twitter, he has 108.6k followers. On Facebook, 114k followers. On YouTube, as it stands right now, he has 18 million views, and on Instagram, he has 44.9k followers. I know, that is amazing, and this truly is inspiring. So before we even go into this, I suggest that you invite all your friends to tune in. Now, Mr. Brian, please introduce yourself to our viewers and let them know exactly what it is that you do.
For a moment, I thought you were talking about someone else there. I'm like, 18 million. That's crazy. Thank you for the opportunity, for inviting me here. I'm humbled by kuba menrambeni ka sona namuntlha ke kulelwa na o shiba ka sepedi ka le nna o tantse ba botse mota ke taba ke re ka Setsonga ke re ganyane. The numbers that you were mentioning back there, it's not like I follow myself and everything like that. It's the love that one receives. When I try something, it works like that. It's amazing, but then this started like a dream, a young boy from Kamjaj, Bulobelu. I grew up in the very rural village of Bulobelu. That's why I can't twang him. If I try to twang, those will me. But then I'm telling you the issue of where I'm from, Bulobelu, rural as it is, went to a rural school, taught by a rural teacher who sometimes would teach me English in Bulobelu because we wouldn't understand what he was saying at that moment. I remember back in the days we were studying Macbeth, and then teacher Mubai, I'm sorry if you're watching. King drunken, Macbeth. They're trying to make you understand, because when they speak English throughout, we'll never understand anything. But then that's how life it was back then. But then one never looked back, never looked at the background. My mom, which I'm proud to say, worked as a domestic worker until last year. My dad worked as a gardener until last year. So, but then they managed to raise with the mega salaries that they got. I don't think they ever earned anything like $2,000 in their lives. But then they managed to make sure that one goes to school, and I have to go to tertiary and hustle just like that. So it becomes a learning curve for one. If you grew up like that, you don't want to go back in that situation. So that actually humbles you, that actually teaches you gore minkarhi hinkwayo u languta laha u humaka kona, kambe leswi u nga kurisa xiswona swi nga ku endli ku ri u vhetela u teka xiboho ku ri ka hina hi hluphekile hi ndlela yaleyo ka tsiva ra wa hinkwao na vuthata eupla what I'm trying to say, rural as it was and everything like that, I grew up like that, but at the back of my mind, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted to be, and it was like that. If I start telling you about my life and everything like that, I never went to a tertiary school. Back in the days, there were no the crash. I believe even Pastor Strike never went to a crash, so we never had those opportunities like that. But one was, if you would understand, one grows up under the leadership, either your grandparents and everything like that. And yeah, I'm one of those people who grew up just like that, just like any other young boy in a village.
Our first question is, can you please tell us what it is that you do? Exactly, go into detail of what you do every day and what motivates you to do what you do.
I would call myself, I do anything media. Anything media, yes, I do sound, which is media. I do what I can call social media marketing, which is still under the same line. But most importantly, I believe every morning between 5 and 9, they listen to this course voice every morning, FM. I do radio, which I love. I remember back in the days, I used to tell my dad, I want to be on radio. He would laugh, man. He would laugh, man, like, oh, this guy, you can't be on radio. And with that voice, you speak so fast. I know I speak so fast, and there are some words that I can't even pronounce properly. But when I reach that word, I relax a little, and then I say, oh, yeah, I need to do that. But then I do radio, I do social media, I do voiceovers, I do, anything media. If you want to do a radio ad, I can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this show. And we are now live. Yes, and I do social media marketing, which actually came as an accident, which I never thought that I would make a living out of social media. People just think, maybe, I normally always say to people, please let us not use social media to promote wrong things. Social media and everything. And people, those who follow DJ Brian, I believe if I was not sometimes calling people to order, I would have had more numbers than this, because I always fight. I'm old enough whereby my son could be on social media, seeing me fighting with people. Let's solve for X. Let's do as our assignments there. What is soil erosion? Let's do those kind of things and make our lives easier, better that way than, doing wrong things, than posting you having something in your hand which is not, legal at that moment, or maybe, by the way, most people now, they will go through your social media to check that's why we see your lifestyle, by the way. You posting while you are having a certain drink inside your hand, some employer somewhere who wants to give you a job, they're looking at that, okay, this person so he might not fit in our company. And let's
No,
the
next question is, what is the most important value that you need for this?
I think, first of all, be true to yourself. Yeah, be true to yourself. While we're talking off air, you were sharing an idea of you thinking of having a YouTube channel, which I support. But I think off air, I even said to you, do something that is very close to your heart. One man said, if you do a job that you love so much, you'll never work for the rest of your life. Like even myself, I love radio. I love radio, and I don't think I've started even. I've been working on radio for 20 years, by the way. So half of my life I've been on radio. I joined a radio station without being at a community radio, without being taught or anything. But I went to school when we were doing radio broadcasting. But I wouldn't say that I was like that kind of a good, radio person. But then I started being on radio in 2000. I was 20, so you can count my age.
What does it take to be a professional social media marketer?
Good question. But then, professionally, yes, it goes back to what I was saying, Corey. Try to be as clean as possible. But depending on, because if you want to be a professional media marketer, it means people don't want to associate themselves with the wrong things that you do on your social media. If you post things that are wrong, no company would want to invest on your page. So it means try by all means to make sure that whatever you post, it's something that you know in the long run, it will actually represent you well. Yeah, that's be professional then.
If you guys are learning just as much as I am and you don't want to deprive other people of the opportunity to learn about this field, I suggest you share the link right now and tell them to tune in as we continue. That leads to our next question.
Yeah.
When becoming an influencer, we hear about people getting blocked. How exactly does this happen?
People get blocked for sharing wrong information, because you'll realize that most social media platforms is either Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other platforms, Instagram, and all this. They'll have the terms and conditions, and people don't read those things. By the way, they will always have those terms and conditions for if you do this and do that, things that might even, information that might look bad in front of kids, especially, nudes and all those kind of things. Yes. They'll end up blocking you. And sometimes they don't even need other people to report, because sometimes you might post a video of a woman being beaten up by a strange man or a stupid man, let me use that word, because we don't beat women. You post that and it looks very, very graphic. Then someone might end up sending either Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever platform it is to that platform to say, I've seen this, it's very disturbing, please block it. But sometimes they don't need that, they just block you. And secondly, on the platform of YouTube, or for example, if you post a song of someone who has copyrighted the same song, it becomes a problem. They will strike you, not Pastor Strike, but they'll just strike strike you, give you the first strike, the third strike, and then they end up blocking your channel. So you need to know what you want to do when you post, and then you must be as clean as possible. If you need to post my song, DJ Brian, as an artist, you can write me a letter to say, please, I want to use your song for my vlog that I'm doing about how to cook porridge. Then I'll just write to YouTube and then sign it up, and it's easy though. But people are lazy to do that. That's generally people get lazy. And one most important thing that I can say without fear or favor, there's a lot of money on social media, a lot of money, and you have to dig deep. You'll find it. There's a lot of money. There are people who actually resign to become full-time pastors, or become, why am I saying pastor? Okay, full-time teachers. Then they become full-time YouTubers. I know a lot of people. In fact, a lot of them that I'm following on YouTube, there are those who actually resigned to become a teacher, and then the person said, "No, I want to make a living out of this." A lot of money. There's a lot of money, people. I'm not joking. I'm not saying I have a lot of money, but there is.
How important is consistency when you are an influencer or blogger or?
Yeah, it's like this show. Yes. I know that every Saturday at 4:00 it comes on Facebook, and the day is not. I know by 2 minutes past 4, people are like, "Oh, what is happening?" And we're still fixing some other things. I understand. So the moment you stop posting, it kills the momentum. It's like radio. DJ Brian is on air between 5 and 9. And that day when it's not there, even if they put someone, you are likely to say, "Hey, maraba fan, marawasha, marayanga DJ Brian." That thing as well, it's very consistent. And consistency will always come when you do something that you love. If you are doing how to cook porridge and you really, really, really love how to cook, it wouldn't even look like you are doing any kind of a job. It will be something that you do for fun, and then it end up you make a living out of it. So don't just open a YouTube channel because you wanna look like DJ Brian with 18 million. Do it because you love it. Yeah.
So what would your advice be, or what would you say to people who start these type of things just for the views?
My channel is what, 2013. I was born in. I opened my channel in 2013, and the moment I started seeing, the moment I saw my first 1 million, yo, I was happy. It was the biggest thing in my life. And for me to move from 1 million to 3 million, it took me about 7 months. And from 3 million to 7 million, it took me about 2 months. So because of that thing, consistency. People are like, oh, okay, to get this kind of content, we must go here. And people start to subscribe and everything. Please subscribe, DJ Brian channel, yeah, on YouTube. And by the way, I've shared the link. We are also live on my Facebook as well. I will end up checking what is happening at the end of the day. But then, don't do it for the views. It's like you starting a company. You want to make profit from the first month. I'm not saying you can't, but it's unlikely that you can make profit from the first month. Boom, when you want a profit of 100,000. No, it comes, you need to build up. You build. Now, I was telling you off air that when I realized that we are on 18 million, I was with a client. I was busy saying to the client, you see, we have 100 and something on Twitter, we have this number on Facebook, and we have 17.4 million on YouTube. And then when I opened it in front of the client, I'm like, oh, sorry guys, I lied. It's actually 18 million. And then they were like, actually, 18 million? I'm like, yo, 18 million, I'm actually shocked like you. So the numbers moving from 17.4, it was like in a month, the DJ Brian channel clicks around 500,000 in a month. In a month, I'm talking about 28 days. That's how YouTube counts their month. 28 days, we hit about 500,000 views. And it's not like I watch my channel. When you watch your own channel, by the way, don't ever try that, people. You open your own channel, just make sure people know about it. Don't watch your own YouTube channel. They will block you, and they will find out it's you watching your own channel. Amen to that.
And what do you enjoy most about what you do?
A lot. Being a video editor, I find a lot of time to explore doing other things that mainly clients won't give you to do. And then sometimes even practicing to do voiceovers, not even in my own language, and doing it in English. Do it in English. Ladies and gentlemen, once upon a time, the world was looking for a voiceover artist. They never found one. But finally, they found me. I'm just giving an example. So, yes. So, I explore when I do those kind of things. That's what I enjoy most. And, when you are that person with, I'm not saying, maybe I am, I believe. Sometimes I need to boast people. When you are a person with creative, ideas, and you don't know where to showcase them. That's the part where I go on and then create a video. Like if you go on my channel, I did a video about a week ago. I just started shooting, someone just started cutting a morula tree. So then one day I was passing there, I saw this morula tree. Then the second day I took my camera, I went there. I started shooting that morula tree, shooting videos. And I called that video, what was that? I forgot what's the name. Okay, something else. I remember, I even gave a name of the video. If you see that video, and someone from America said, don't you want to sell your pictures? And when you prune a tree, you don't just cut it anywhere. I'm not a tree pruner, but then you must cut it where where it joins with other, leaves and whatever. Well, I'm talking about trees now. Yes. But then that's how I get, no client will come and say, Brian, come here. I want you to shoot this murula tree. They won't give you that opportunity. They want to do weddings, funerals, unfortunately, parties and blah, 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 blah. Before COVID, of course. Yeah.
What are the challenging aspects about what you do?
The challenging aspect is when one day you post a video and then the following morning you wake up, you have 3 views. And that's 3. 1, 2, 3. and you look at it like, and how much time you spend on that video, producing that video. You end up looking at it for what do I need to do more? It's challenging, yes. It's a mission where you need to look at it differently. But then the other challenging aspect is when someone try to fake your account. You find that you Google on Facebook, you find there are a lot of DJ brides there, and with your picture, and sometimes you end up, is this love, or is this someone who's trying to be like me? You understand? So it's challenging, yes. And for you to report that account or accounts, it becomes a long mission. It's not like a one day thing where you send to Facebook today and then the following morning they've blocked that person. It's a challenge. But then when I end up looking at it differently to say, maybe one rata but that's why. And they post whatever you post this side, they do the same thing on the side. But then luckily most of our accounts, I like saying our instead of my, our I mean DJ Bride. Most of our accounts, they are mainly verified. That's the importance as well. When you are verified, that people will know, oh yes, the blue tick is there, so this is the official account. And beside, challenging when you get a lot of inboxes. People, when they inbox you, you don't respond on time. And people take it personal sometimes, and forgetting you are dealing with over 150,000 people who are likely to inbox you on a single day. Some of them, mostly, I get people saying, "Can you record?" And I said, I only produce music videos. I don't market artists, because I'll play the song on air. They'll go, that is there.
Another question is, why is digital marketing the most strategic way of putting your business out there?
It is beautiful because you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to drive. You don't have to go to Cape Town. I don't have to go to Zimbabwe for people to know me. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm sitting home, send and produce a proper message, and that will reach a lot of numbers that I might not even reach, even if when I go through the mall by myself. That's very nice about it. That's the most important. There's no form of transport. You just need data. Or get data.
Yeah, it leads to another question that we've been asked. They asked, do I need money to start my own channel?
I was listening to one guy the other day. He was saying how many, he was doing a presentation. He said, how many are you in this hall? They say almost 500 people before COVID, of course. He said, Facebook doesn't even know any one of you. Not a single one of you. Facebook doesn't even know any one of you. We don't need money to open a Facebook account. You don't need money to open a YouTube account. But you might need money in the form of getting the proper gear. I'm talking about cameras, the kind of setup that we have here. This is proper, and I forgot to say that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting in a very proper studio here. Proper. If I knew I would have put on my red suit. Yes, this is proper. So maybe but with your phone, you can do a lot of things with your phone. Like today's phones are very amazing. We've got 4K on this small phone, 4K quality. So that's the money part that is involved. And then do proper things. And some people become the influencers without having these big numbers. DJ Brian, 100 and something. They will have about 3,000 views. But a person is an influencer MTW. Because they see we can move without having the big numbers. The big numbers doesn't mean anything that much, but then it means something for those who look for numbers. Because if I post, like now, if I open my YouTube, my Facebook, that I've shared this link, I know there are a lot of people who are watching because of the the subscription and the numbers and like that. But that doesn't mean that when you are having small numbers, it means that you are not a good influencer. Yes.
Okay. What type of things should one consider when they market their business or product on social media?
They need to first check if your quality.
Okay.
The quality, if you are, it doesn't have to be a video, even if it's a poster. Let it be a product. I mean, sometimes a client will come and say, "Hey, DJ Brian, can you post this on your channel? We wanna market our 123, our registration of our new college, blah blah." Then I look at the post, I'm like, "Oh, Magala Makapa, the poster is not right," because when the poster doesn't look right, it sends a wrong message. And I'm going to post it, Mina, as DJ Brian, on my Facebook or on my social media platform. And that moment, it might be lost in translation. Or, have you seen a bad why do I want to post that away from you? Not away in terms of like you can see that, this is not right. Yes. Consider that as a client, and then secondly, maybe we need to consider issue. Okay, it's quality. It still comes back to quality, and as well association. Would you wanna associate yourself with this brand? There are brands that come to me and say, particularly there's a brand that I can mention, a car brand that came and said, "Hey, Fetu, can you help us market? We have 1, 2, 3, 4." I'm like, hey. Yeah.
No. What are the advantages of digital marketing over traditional marketing?
Money.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Money, and it's save and time, and time is money. But then in this case, it's easy to do a simple poster, and then people start responding. But sometimes they don't respond as the way you'd like them to. But then don't give up. Keep pushing. As long as you love what you're doing, that's the bottom line. Sometimes you might not make money, but you what's a video la video la what's a mara level like you won't get 3 views mara video la magala makapa come mount that happiness inside you, understand? It makes you, it completes you. That's how it does. I've done a lot of nice videos, proper beautiful big videos, and people know this video, why not views, and this one I'm not even happy about it. The production was not that good because of the situation at that time. But in only 4 million, by the way, I got a video, I got about 2 million on my channel, and thanks to Dr. Wedima Shawa for allowing us to post that video. It was my first ever video to post on my channel. It's a gospel song, by the way. Jehovah. It was my first video to post, and then that was my video, a music video. I think it was about 4 million views now. I'm not sure. You can just go there and check. I lose numbers. Don't keep on checking numbers. How many numbers do I get today? How many numbers today? Those kind of things. Yeah. You might end up, giving hope and everything like that.
Another question is, are there more effective methods of advertising?
Yeah, there are. You can use radio for advertising, which radio has proven for many years to be one of the affordable and most viable method of advertising any form of company or any form of business in that way. Radio, newspapers, but radio is still top. Even during COVID, people are still advertising. You understand? So, and then there's TV, which is a bit expensive. It might be expensive for the next person and not be expensive for you, but generally that is more expensive. But then on social media, well, guys, and the only mind that you might even think of paying on social media, that's when you want to boost your post, which I have done it. The last time I've done that was in 2017. Boost your post, or even try to sponsor your post. Sometimes say sponsored. You see a post on Instagram, a sponsored go to page. And it's not a lot of money. You talk about your 250 rand, it will run for 7 days, and then they'll even tell you to reach this number of people, and you can even select the provinces. You say, no, I want my post to be only in Limpopo, which the other form of media is difficult for you to say, I want to run a TV ad, I want it to run Kopulukwane. It's impossible. But on social media, you are likely to do that. Say, oh, this post is only for Kopulukwane. Then it will only be shared in Polokwane, and then it will be viewed in that way.
Another question that we have is, how do you continually learn about trends in social media?
it's easy. Social media has made it easy for you as a user, whether you're a blogger, whether you are a starting or you are a social media guru, which I don't know where I fall. Um, it made it easy for you to even see what is trending inside your channel. If you go deeper, they'll even show you what, oh, you, most of your views, they're not actually in South Africa, they're actually in Mozambique and Botswana. And they'll even show you what, oh, what is trending at the moment, what people like to consume in the social media market. It's technology. For, sometimes your what do you call it? Your setting up your studio. If I knew that you're having to build a studio like this, I would have captured. I hope you have captured the studio when you are building it. How to build a studio. Those kind of things. People want to watch those things. I'm one of them, by the way. I watch those videos like 24/7, and they will come to, why are you watching these things? Because I want to see the new trends. How do the people, make the studio to look this good, but with a affordable budget. I don't want to say cheap, affordable budget. You make it look fine and good and presentable with affordable budget. So those kind of things, they make it. They even show you, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. It's just that when we go in, we just want to see the views and what. There are a lot of things down there. What you need to check and see when are mostly your followers are online. They'll also give you those things. So it's easy. Just go in and check your about, and then you go in there and show the highlights of your post and see what is happening underneath there. I was trying to open something. If I get it, I will actually come back to this question.
What was your favorite and least favorite social media campaign you developed, and why?
Hey, did I see that question? I think it has to be the Mapungube Arts Festival. Yeah. The Mapungube Arts Festival, it was a concept that came from nowhere, and we believed that it was not only because we are smart or anything. It was actually grace, understand, whereby that campaign was big. And for the first time in a very long time, people filled up the cricket club.
Yes.
Yeah, and I looked at the number of people in the stadium. I'm like, wow. And that was in 2017, I think even in 2018. But the 2017 one, it stood out because the graphics were proper. And if you go back, I think most of you who are watching will remember that campaign that we did. And it was big. It was a big thing for me. And even today, not financially per se, but the response that we received from the people, and not people that follows DJ Brian only, people from all specs of life. By sekete ndlela yin'wana ya ku hlamarisa swinene ngopfu, and ku seketela a ku ri ndlela kwasako va le ku xaveni na hinkwaswo leswiyani va xava mathikithi va ka festival liyani. Yeah, that one stood out for me. Yeah, that's where I saw the power of social media.
Wow.
Is that me?
Yes.
Okay.
Another question is, why is online marketing preferred more than offline marketing?
Because it's easily accessible. You check in your school where you study. Let's say you'll understand what I believe. I'm not 100%, but maybe 87 to be correct. Maybe 87.5% of your schoolmates, they've got phones. So it's easily accessible. But you might find maybe 30% of your schoolmates they might not even have a traditional radio, and they spend more time on the phone. That's my dream one day. I believe and wish that internet or data or access to internet could be accessible so easily like other countries.
Yes.
You know what makes a artist from Uganda, for example?
Yes.
For example, the biggest, I think maybe you might be hearing this for the first time, the biggest African artist who had the lot of views on YouTube. It's not Diamond. It's not Davido from Nigeria. It's Diamond Platinum with over 1 billion views.
Wow.
That is because in that country, they take seriously issue accessibility of internet. You know, the thing that we have in Pretoria, Wi-Fi, which is the Tshwane Wi-Fi, it makes things easy for people to access internet, not only for social media, but to do their researches in different ways, to do schoolwork, you know. There are still those kids who still sit next to that shop and sit outside that because they want to access internet. You know, and this thing must also, that's my wish, it must also spread even down to the villages, not only in town, in the urban areas.
DJ Brian, I'm going through our comments right now.
There are a lot.
Facebook.
For the first time.
There are a lot.
Say it.
One of our viewers have said that we need to be very careful of the things we put on our social media. And she says that powerful message, DJ Brian. We have to build our brands, and there are people that are saying that is so true. And another question that she put up was, what would you say to somebody who wants to start this but they feel like they won't have enough exposure?
The beautiful thing about social media, there is no red tape. There is no, as long as it's clean, as long as it's beautiful, as long as you want to send a message, there's no one who will say, don't produce this, don't do that, don't do that. You are free to do anything as long as you stay within your line. Just vet the terms and conditions. Let me say the terms and conditions for people to understand. Terms and conditions of that social media platform that you're using. Because if they say don't use other people's music, and when you go and use it, they'll block you. But as long as you and the free, copyright-free music that you can use to produce these things like. So you must Google that. You go to YouTube, you say copyright free music, I want to do a music video. And you can even say copyright free music hype. And then they'll find a hype kind of music. You say copyright free music movie trailer. You go like once upon a time. As if you produce the song. There are those good Samaritan out there who goes to studios and produce music and then they give to people like us for free. Because they love us that much.
Where do you see the future of social media marketing going?
If you had asked me where do you see the future of radio or of TV going in terms of marketing, it would be a difficult question for me. But for social media, like there are no limits, you understand? Yes. But then I still come back to that thing, let us be the ones who use the social media. That's I'm still going back there. Let us use this social media arena. People choose who they want to follow. People choose who they don't want to follow. I've got for example, I've got maybe 30% of the people who follows my co-presenter. And they don't follow me. And there are those maybe 60% of people who follow me, they don't follow my co-presenter. So that should mean something to you. And not that they just don't want to follow you. The content that they're putting there is not, they don't hate you. Yes. No, don't think they hate you. Oh, it's fine. Don't. And please make this, the streets of social media, they can be cruel sometimes. Yes. In fact, in most cases, and especially you find that the world is going through some hardships like what we're going through now. People spending 6 months without any form of income. People can actually, just say things that they want to say on social media and just be ready for that. Yeah, people who, you produce something or you say something or you produce a video, somebody, and you're not even on the video, you just produced it, and then they come lashing at you. Don't take it personal, but you must remember, put that voice in Mufasa, the Lion King. Remember that the streets sometimes they can be very, very difficult, but have fragile. I believe that space is some kind of disappointment.
I'd like to engage more with our viewers. One of our viewers have said that I enjoy following DJ Brian because of the music. When he plays Dr. Thomas Chauke, I always feel like it is live, and he makes you feel a part of the live show.
Wow.
That is authenticity. Another viewer has also said you are a social media guru.
Who's
and
that? Kebang Ulama.
Rulani Baloyi.
Oh, Roland Baloyi, okay.
Yes. And then another one has said, DJ Brian,
Yeah.
I'm so motivated. Keep on motivating us.
Sure.
And guys, if you really are motivated and getting motivated, it is not fair for you to keep this to yourself. Please share the link. Encourage your friends to come by and encourage them to tune in as we continue with this show. So back to the questions.
Yeah.
In what segment can you categorize digital marketing?
It has to be an entertainment segment whereby, but depending on what you want to do. There are those people, Pella, would open a channel and then say, I want to, if I understood you very well, I want to categorize or segment my channel as a cooking channel, which I believe it would be a nice thing to have, cooking our own African food.
Yes.
I want to have, I think maybe I haven't Googled enough, but I want to have our own channel sometimes, having those kind of things. But you can have your cooking. In fact, all those categories or the segments, you'll find them there. When you post something, if you don't put it under a correct segment, you are likely not to have enough views. Whereby you post a Thomas Chauke, for example, when one was saying something about Thomas Chauke, Dr. Thomas Chauke, I beg your pardon. Hey, Dr. Thomas, sorry, whatever. Hey, Dr. Thomas Chauke, and then at the bottom there, you'll see it's either entertainment, comedy, education, health, and blah, 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 blah. So those segments, there are a lot of them. So when you put, for example, you upload a video, Dr. Thomas Chauke, and then you categorize it or you put it under a segment, a comedy, you're not likely to get it right, because people might search under entertainment and then they don't find what you're looking for. And issue anyway that you need to take into consideration, hashtagging it works on YouTube more especially, even on Instagram. And there's a way that you need to hashtag on Instagram. When you post this microphone, you don't post for a new, we had just received our new microphone on MTW Studios. And then you say hashtag microphones, hashtag whatever microphone name, hashtag underneath your comment. No. You finish there and then you come back as a comment. You put 6 dots. I'm sharing my secrets now. So you put the 6 dots, then you start writing the hashtags underneath. You'll be shocked how many people will view your picture just because you put it that way. In fact, go to my Instagram page or whatever account, you'll actually see how I do my things. You don't put your headline along with hashtags. And then you'll find that you're getting people who use that product, even from Germany, Uganda, Democratic Republic of the Congo, wherever. They'll start seeing it even if they don't follow you. That's how you hashtag on Instagram specifically.
What is CEO? What is a keyword and how important it is in CEO?
I think you wanted to say SEO, ne? Yes, I was looking at that term. I'm like, do we even use this thing in South Africa? Because you'll talk about 11 types of digital marketing. That it will actually break it down. The PPC, the social media, which falls under that, and then the things that will be, it will also include your things that will be viral, and the things that will be that you do on emails as well. You can even promote. You find out the person has an email. At the bottom of his email, the signature, they don't even attach the social media links. It's easy, and that's the best way to promote your things like that. And then you end up talking about the content, the same thing that we were talking about. The content as well as falls under the SEO, where you end up looking at the kind of content. Unless if you want to be a general dealer kind of a social media person, which I think I am. Where today I can just walk up and start shooting, somebody Arokadilo and then I like that, and then I post it, and then the next day I'll look at, a Pastor X preaching. I love the message, and then we post that. But then that's how they end up going to it leads you to that. But then under the SEO, then you end up talking about 11 items, which I believe we might not even have, which radio falls under that, TV falls under that, even mobile would also fall under that, even the issue of the influencer. And I'm very humbled to have been chosen as well by some of the companies, big brands in the country, to choose DJ Brian. It humbles me sometimes. I'm like, ooh. And I always, when they say, Brian, can you please be our influencer? This is our budget. Hey, I always talk to call my name, my phone. I call my mom. I still call my mom. And then I'm just, I don't know. Those kind of things. Because the moment you in life, generally, not about social media anyway, generally, the moment you start to say, then you start losing your touch. You don't, I won't respect you. I won't respect the next person. I won't even respect my parents, not even my friends, just because I feel and think I have arrived. Even if only if I've arrived, people know there's something somewhere, someone out there who still needs you to listen to them, even the other way around. So don't ever think, because you have a 1 million deal from X company, then you have made it in life, then you don't need anybody else to advise you. Just know, you will always need that person to advise you until Jesus comes back.
What are the different ways to promote digital marketing?
I promote my personally. Maybe some people might use other ways. Like I said, maybe for example, I just spoken about it. In fact, this SEO question was actually covering that in a way. All my emails, if I send you an email, at the bottom, I don't even care about if my logo is there. As long as my link to my any other social media is there, I'm fine. My logo might not even bring any difference in terms of following. But as long as at the bottom of my email, that's one I do. My email at the bottom, my signature, GB Records or Gian Brian Records, or yes, GB Records or whatever position that I'm sending you that email from, which account, whether Barrel or Concept, and then I put a link of my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I know one day we will be bored or and then you click and then boom, then you see, hey, Demon is interesting. That's the first thing I use. And then secondly, it's shocking how many people, because it's shocking how many people view my status on WhatsApp. When I produce a video, the first thing I do, I post it on my WhatsApp status, and people end up viewing that. I promote it that way, and then you must do the entanglement, intertwined. You post the link here, Facebook, on Twitter on Instagram. Sometimes you need to remind your people, hey guys, I'm also on Instagram, man. This is the link. Because if I have 107,600, how many numbers? That number that you read, 106,000. Let's just be safe. 106,000 on Twitter, and then I have 44,000 on Instagram. The numbers don't talk to each other. Maybe people don't know that I'm on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok, but I say, yeah, I'm on TikTok. I can't use the maybe age.
One of the viewers have asked this question. They say, does radio have a place in the future?
Yes, big one. Radio. I think it's because you don't need to, these days, with the technology and everything, you don't need to carry around a traditional radio. And back then, you used to put a radio here, yes, and then you go to a train while you're going to work, and then you are listening to a radio station. But now you can even listen to your phone, use and listen to radio. Radio is the future, man. Radio, it's got something, I think, it's a God-given thing. Radio munati, man. There is a few to answer you directly. Yes, 8 minutes. 8 minutes to 5 o'clock. All right, yeah, radio, yeah. 8 minutes already. Yeah, radio has got a future, yes, because, but it's changing radio. If you look at radio the way it's done, it's changing. Presenters don't talk too much like they used to before, because now the radio it's your age. Those are the ones who are listening. And if I go on radio, you want to listen to music these days more than they use. I just do a link. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Bramando Morena. It's DJ Brian. You want to hear that, and then boom, link. Unless if it's a talk show like a Pastor Strike.
As we are closing,
Are we closing?
DJ Brian, you mentioned that you didn't go to school to study for what you currently do.
Yeah.
But for our high school students, would you say some sort of qualifications are required to pursue a career like this?
Who's that?
Nyeleti Baloy.
Okay. Well, I did. In fact, let me say I did went to school for doing. I did journalism. It was not part of, but well, me knowing how to edit is not something that I went to school. But hey, I just don't do those crazy after effects kind of things. I need, quality raw things. I do take my editing very seriously, and I'm self-taught, and self-taught. Even recording and building a studio and everything like that, self-taught. But taking pictures is something that I went to school for, and in fact, I wanted to be a journalist. Then I realized there's no money. I'm kidding. Okay, but yeah, maybe partly it was that I realized you can do other things while you are doing radio, and it can be. I can go to radio 5 to 9, and then from 9 o'clock and start another, job every day. It is important for you to back yourself with education. No, it doesn't matter whether it's. I can go to school and study to become a lawyer, but then I end up becoming a singer. Like, who's that? Sbuno is. He's a doctor, by the way. Sbuno is a medical doctor. Doctor to me, he practice, but then yes, but he's into he loves music. So it's very important for you to back up. You back yourself with any form of education, and especially I will say this and for the artist. And I think this COVID period, from whatever lockdown at 26th of March until now, it has taught our artists something. Imagine if you're a DJ Brian, you're an artist, you're only relying on what do you think now? Because now you're going to fight at home because there's no food, not because you are whatever, but it's because there's hunger at home, makes you angry, you feel like somebody's not respecting you, and all those kind of things. Mara is because there's no other backup. So in any form, please try your best you back up your career or whatever you're doing with some form of education, so you can fall back on. Education is very important. It's very important. I did journalism, but I never pursued. Imagine this voice reading news. People won't believe me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even have words. We truly have learned a lot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have come to the end of our session, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I really hope you learned just as much as I did. And with that said, I'd like to encourage you to tune in every Saturday at 4 p.m. on this very platform and on our Facebook as well at Mana Tabernacle Church. There is always something for you to gain from watching these shows. I'd also like to encourage you to tune in every weekday. We have financial advice, we have health advice, and every morning we have our very own Joy Comes in the Morning. I promise you won't regret watching these shows. And then obviously I can't close off the show without thanking Mr. DJ Brian.
Oh yeah.
Wow, mister DJ Brian. The comments, they are extraordinary. People are saying this is inspiring, and some don't even want the show to end. So we will give the viewers a few more minutes, and I know there is still something that you would like to share with us and teach us. So please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm cancer, man, from the bottom of my heart for the opportunity given here. MTW, it was not like they woke up in the morning and said, yeah, but and then forgot about DJ Brian. It was something that was planned, and for people to sit down and say we want this guy to come into this beautiful studio, it humbles me in a big way. And then to talk to even a different kind of following. I believe the following on your platform, they're likely more different from mine, and I hope that things will change with time, where everybody will go back with no time, where we'll go back our normal lives, because this new normal has changed a lot of people's lives in a big way. And please don't let your guard down where you say, level 1 things are back to normal. Yes, let's just take care and please practice Makailana social distancing and everything. Make sure you wear your mask at all times. It doesn't mean when I come and wearing a mask, it means Gore, I think you have the virus. No. It might mean I have it. I'm trying to protect you. So let's make sure that we protect ourselves in all times. And please let us use social media in a very, very responsible way. Then we can end up making a living out of social media. You can solve for X on social media. That will be very entertaining. And that you understanding the new era of 4IR is very important in understanding the fourth industrial revolution is here to stay, and we need to embrace it at all times, and let us not forget to keep on praying.
Wow. Now I think we have allowed him the opportunity to share with us as much as he can. Obviously, if you'd still want to learn more about what it is that he does, and please go and go and view what he does, because he's doing amazing and exceptional things, and I know we can all learn from what he's doing. Follow him on all his platforms, from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter to YouTube. Go and do what you have to do. I cannot close, obviously, without announcing our Kahoot winner, which is Carol Matabata. She has won herself an MTW hamper. Well done to her.
Wow.
And yes, yet again, thank you. Well done. Thank you yet again to DJ Brian.
Yeah.
Our overseer, senior pastor, our pastors, our God-fearing generation leaders, the media team, the listeners, obviously the viewers, everybody who has been in our comments, and they are still carrying on as we are closing. But thank you very much for tuning in. Tune in every weekday, but most importantly, don't forget to tune in to these sessions every Saturday from 4 p.m. I promise you, you won't regret it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing us to educate you. And yes, thank you for everything. Bye.